We all, without exception, notice strange situations happening to us every day related to food. Any one of us, if they come home after a long day and find no food, feels involuntarily irritated and upset, and we can't engage in a discussion with anyone. When we're hungry, we're not in the mood and can't focus on anything, and we often hear phrases like, "What are you talking about? Just let me eat first, and then I'll focus on you." Or, "Let's just have a bite first, and then we can continue our conversation," and many others. But what's the reason? Why do we get so irritable when we're hungry? Is a hungry person really irritable, or is it exaggerated? To understand the topic, let's explore what happens in our bodies when we're full and compare it to hunger. When food reaches digestion, nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, and fats convert into simple sugars, amino acids, and fatty acids. After digestion, these substances enter the bloodstream, distributing energy to organs and tissues. As long as these substances provide energy, you feel stable, including mentally. After some time without food, nutrient levels drop, and low blood glucose can cause brain issues. The brain treats low glucose as an emergency, unlike other organs that can use stored energy. These substances in cells provide energy and stability. After a while without food, nutrients decrease, causing brain issues. The brain sees this as an emergency, unlike other organs using stored energy. If no food comes, other organs use stored elements to function. After some time has passed since your last meal, the amount of the nutrients we mentioned starts to decrease significantly. When glucose levels in the blood drop, some brain issues begin to appear. As soon as it senses a drop in glucose from its normal levels, the brain treats it as an emergency situation because it is different from the other organs and tissues in the body. If no food comes in from outside, the other organs can obtain energy from another set of stored elements already present in the body. Thus, they complete their mission without any problems. It does certain things because it relies primarily on glucose, specifically to be able to perform tasks efficiently. And with the absence of food or meals that directly provide the body with glucose, it becomes difficult for the brain to obtain glucose from any other source. This in turn negatively affects the brain's basic functions, such as impulse control and regulating reactions. And that's why you will always notice that when you're hungry, the first thing that happens is that you lose your focus and you literally aren't in the mood. Your mind is just confused. When sugars and glucose decrease in the body in general, the brain doesn't stay quiet. It tries in every way to act in order to restore things to normal. At that time, the body enters a state called the counter-regulatory response to glucose. This response simply means that as soon as blood glucose levels drop to a certain point, the brain starts sending instructions to multiple organs in the body, telling them to start releasing hormones that will increase the amount of glucose back into the bloodstream. These hormones are usually four: growth hormone, which is secreted by the pituitary gland, glucagon, which is secreted by the pancreas, and finally, adrenaline and cortisol, which are secreted by the adrenal glands. These compensate for the loss of glucose, but let's stop at the last two hormones, adrenaline and cortisol, which are called stress hormones, and they are released into the bloodstream in all kinds of difficult situations that we go through. Adrenaline in particular is one of the main hormones that are secreted in response to fight or flight or sudden terrifying situations, and cortisol can also cause aggression in some people. And that is why the presence of these hormones in excess in the blood contributes in one way or another to the person being. When someone is irritable because they're hungry, can you control yourself, or do you become a little monster who? Hunger and anger are linked by genes. A brain chemical released when the body needs energy can cause irritability. This involves peptides working on brain receptors like Y1. The Y peptide and Y1 receptor regulate hunger and affect anger. This connection is stronger in those with high Y peptide levels. Since we differ in these factors, people vary in how angry they get when hungry. There's a reason it leads to anger when hungry. Hunger and anger are gene managed. The Y peptide and Y1 receptor manage hunger and anger. This link is stronger in people with high levels of the Y peptide. We differ in these factors, so it's natural to see variations in how angry people get when hungry. The point is that the Y peptide and the Y1 receptor, besides their role in regulating the feeling of hunger, also have an additional role in regulating feelings of anger and aggression. This is one of the reasons that connects the feelings of hunger and anger, and this connection is more pronounced in individuals who have high levels of the Y peptide in their brain or spinal cord. Finally, since we differ in the factors we've mentioned, it's natural to see clear differences in how angry people get when they're hungry. You might find that some people don't feel anger or irritability at all when they're hungry. Alongside these physiological reasons, there are a number of psychological and social factors, like a person's upbringing, religion, and culture, all of which play a significant role in the variation of emotions a person might feel when hungry. and how well they can control themselves during that feeling. This is what research actually shows. Is hunger dangerous to health? Initially, it feels overwhelming, but soon glucose regulation stabilizes blood sugar, reducing irritability and headaches. Sleeping hungry breaks down fat, producing ketones that reduce hunger. Allowing hunger intermittently can be healthy. No need to eat immediately. Waiting helps. Drink water first. It might not be true hunger. However, prolonged hunger can be risky, especially for those with health issues. When you sleep hungry, your body uses fat for energy, creating ketones that curb hunger by replacing glucose. Occasional hunger can be healthy, especially for the overweight. No need to eat immediately. Waiting can make hunger fade. Nutritionists suggest water first, as it might not be true hunger, but prolonged hunger is risky, especially for those with health issues. Quick tips. We often grab snacks like chocolate or fries when hungry. Fast foods spike glucose, then drop it fast, making you hungry again. We can wait a little, and maybe after a few minutes, the feeling of hunger will start to fade. Some nutritionists say that when you feel hungry, drink a big glass of water first. You might not actually be hungry. But of course, this doesn't mean that prolonged hunger can be a real health risk, especially for those who already have health issues. When we feel hungry, what do we do first? We look for quick eats like chocolate, fries, or noodles. Fast foods raise blood glucose levels, but glucose drops as fast as it rises. You'll soon feel hungry again, resorting to fast meals. The negative effects are countless. Here are tips to improve your health. When hungry, choose nutrient-rich snacks like nuts, veggies, fruits, or legumes like lentils. These foods keep you full longer. Fast again. Unfortunately, its damage is immeasurable. That's why there are some tips that if you make them a routine in your life, your mental and physical health will improve significantly. When you are hungry, think of any light meals that are rich in nutrients and fiber at the same time, such as nuts, vegetables, fruits, and also vegetables, especially blueberries in the winter. All of these are nutrients that will give you a feeling of fullness for a long time. The second thing is to eat small meals, frequently throughout the day. Or if you can't do that or don't have time, make sure that breakfast, lunch, and dinner are all satisfying and nutritious. Exercise regularly, even just for a quarter of an hour a day, drink plenty of water, and finally, get enough sleep. That's it, I'm done. Who made it this far? All of you who did are the best.